Hey everyone, it's Andrew Morgan, host of the Nomcast, the Netflix original movie podcast. Each week we review the biggest Netflix original movies with special guests ranging from film professionals to comedians to podcasters like Johnny Ganache from the legendary Pint. Listen and subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at NomcastPod.
Hey there, this is John from Pint.
And I'm Lloyd, also from Pint.
And I'm the other John, and you get it by now. As you may know, we sometimes use language on this show that can be described as...
Filthy.
Okay.
Reprehensible?
Crude?
Sure.
Nasty.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, guys. We all know that it's just plain out gutter talk.
You've been warned. Listen in.
That was a good one.
Well, happy holidays to everybody out there.
Happy holidays.
You know, this would have been a little more energetic about 20 minutes ago, but right before we started recording, my wife came in and informed me that my younger dog, Mr. Echo, decided to murder a blue jay, and I had to go help her get it from him. And we played chase with a blue jay out there, and I thought it was bad enough because I thought it was dead, and it wasn't even dead. So now we're recording, and I just heard a blue jay in the fits of death.
Oh, you didn't step on it? You have to.
I asked Lindsay if she wanted me to kill it. She said no, and I told her afterwards.
No,
I said,
don't kill it.
Yeah, I should have killed it, and we made the wrong choice. It's currently dying now, as we speak.
We should do the other episode now.
Yeah, really.
Be more fitting.
I'm not proud of myself. I'm definitely not proud of myself
Make
at
a
all.
little stew.
Yeah, a little stew. All right, so so I want to say, of course, this is the week of Christmas that this episode's coming out. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays all together.
Happy Festivus.
Most of Happy Festivus. But most importantly, to my podcast friends here, to the Manster and Sir John, Happy Life Day.
Thank you. Happy Life Day to yourself.
And to our returning guest,
Our
special guest, Shawnee Mack, Sean McLaughlin.
Hey guys.
Sean, what's going on?
Hey, Sean.
Can I say Merry Christmas?
You can say Merry Christmas.
Oh,
yeah,
Merry
we're okay.
Christmas, Happy
We're
Life Day.
Happy Life Day. So Sean was on a couple episodes in the last couple months.
Gleam in the cube.
You're gonna be gleam in the cube.
Wow.
Can I say? I want to say real quick. So the Pint Movie Invitational, we bring people on, we do movies, and we've done some what we considered pretty popular movies. We did The Thing. Movies that have a lot of people love these movies. And I'll tell you right now, the Gleaming the Cube seemed like an odd choice on social media when I was promoting it. The one most people wanted to see or hear. It's like I cannot wait for this one. And the downloads were great. So Sean, thank you very much. And it was a fun episode anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's an outlier.
Yeah, it
cuts across every demographic and
I mean, LA Rams fans, Vietnamese people, Vietnamase LA Rams fans. It crosses all those skateboarders,
Pizza Hut aficionados.
Pizza Hut aficionados, absolutely. And just when I put the episode out, I think at this point the episode was maybe a month and a half ago. We had talked on the episode, and I said I was pretty sure that Christian Slater and Tony Hawk were still friends, and I posted on our Facebook page a YouTube video. I don't know if you saw it or not, of them having lunch together and talking about filming Gleaming the Cube. Yeah. So they're still getting it on and still friends. So I said to Sean, we want to have you back on. Sean, you're a writer for Horror News Network.
HorrorNewsNetwork.net.
.net. Okay. I always want to say, because there's another one that has a very similar name.
Yes.
We're not going to mention them, but HorrorNewsNetwork.net. Help out with the CT Cult Classics, Connecticut Cult Classics, and all that stuff. And I said, let's have Sean back on. He was a great guest. And you kind of immediately were like, okay, I want to do another invitational. And you kind of brought up something, and you said, let's do this. And I said, well, that doesn't work as the invitational, but it works on another level. It works as a holiday special. So, Sean...
Yeah.
What do we have?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
What do we have as the three hosts of the show?
You're welcome, guys.
To say Happy Life Day and then fuck you to you all about. What did you bring to us today?
We watched, willingly and unwillingly, the 1978 CBS special, the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah,
Fucking A. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we sure did.
Despite George Lucas's objections.
Yes.
Yeah.
It still exists.
Yes, it does.
Well, here's a little background on this, and I want to ask you guys too. So, Sean, you're familiar with this, right? You said you had seen it, in the past. Like you have 2 copies of it with you right now.
I own 2 copies.
You own 2 copies, which is 3 copies too many, but you own 2 copies of it. So this has been something you've been familiar with for a long time, or?
Yeah, well, so I was a kid. I was 1 when it came out. I didn't really I grew up a Star Wars kid, but really I saw Jedi in the theater.
Right.
Empire Strikes Back was really the first one I saw, and then I went back as I got old. I didn't see this on TV, and I didn't really know about it till probably late 90s.
Okay.
That's when I found out, and I'm like, I got to get my hands on this. And then, God, maybe 2001, 2002, I was in Manhattan, went into Midtown Comics. They have all those great bootleg DVDs for sale on the wall.
There it is.
I was like, holy shit.
There it is.
Probably must own.
Did you grab yourself a copy of the Roger Corman Fantastic Four film too, or no?
No, but it was there.
Yeah.
That was another one of those that was very popular.
I got to be honest. I grew up a huge Star Wars fan, and I think in all honesty, I think before the hitting of the internet in the mid '90s, I don't think I ever heard of this until around that time.
I'm surprised.
But saying that, I've been to many cons. I've seen this thing like very much the same as what you have here, bootleg, versions. And I just always said to myself, because I've always heard how bad it was, I'm not always the guy that goes, oh, it's supposed to be so bad, it's good that I've got to see it. I just always said to myself, fuck that thing, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
And I've had opportunity because obviously, as we know, we all saw it, I think on YouTube, right? Brought to you by station WHIO in Surf City, Dayton.
What a hell of a copy too.
It was-
because honestly, I mean, the only things I had seen since its first original one-shot appearance was bootleg videotapes. I'd never seen it on DVD.
Yeah.
I'd seen it on the bootleg DVD circuit, but back in my day, it was VHS.
So, John, this is a question. I know you're only 29.
Yes, I did see it.
Did you watch it that
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Did
Now-
you, Lloyd?
Lightning in a
No,
bottle.
I did not see it as a youth.
Oh,
and,
I did.
No, the first time I ever saw it was a year ago, right around this time, because I figured I'd just check it out, and no, I had to see it again.
Yeah, this is...
Oh, this is something I've always known about. And when it disappeared and it became that mythic thing that people would talk about,
Yeah.
I was always like, what, you didn't see it when it was on the air? Really? Star Wars was that's all people talked about for years.
Yeah.
It certainly is like a unicorn. Like,
Oh.
you hear about it, and
It's
people tell
something-
you about it.
Look, I don't remember the majority of this. I thought it was an hour-long special. I didn't realize it was a 2-hour-long special.
Yeah, preempted 2 really good shows.
Yeah,
Wonder
exactly.
Woman and The Incredible Hulk.
And-
Incredible
then-
Hulk will not be seen this
Right.
week.
So
Yeah,
we'll bring you this piece of shit.
That CBS special,
CBS special.
role, yeah, which was really cool. Which is what I really liked about that copy. It had the announcer going on about what's being preempted. You had the CBS special role
Yeah,
there.
the Kenner toys.
Yeah,
prelude.
and all that fun stuff.
I don't know if I saw that.
You didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, he talked about all the Kenner toys before.
Oh, that was the
before all
copy I
that.
saw. I didn't see.
Did you see the tail end of it when it talked about what's going to be seen next week?
No.
Oh yeah, Incredible Hulk and Wonder Woman will be seen next week.
Oh, the copy
yeah.
I watched on YouTube was that's why I made the joke. Did yours keep coming up with WHIO
Yeah,
Dayton?
right on the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I must have seen one that didn't have mine.
Yeah, it was another version.
Mine literally started with the Wonder Woman placard, and then it went to the Hulk, and it said the Incredible Hulk will not be seen this week.
Yeah, there was a whole thing before that.
Yeah.
It's funny. Mine is my DVD was actually taped from Cleveland, and then they left the commercials in,
Oh, nice.
which is probably the best part of the DVD.
Yeah.
What, before we get into what kind of commercials did you get? What were some? Do you remember some of the
A
stuff?
lot of union textile worker commercials.
Or in the beginning of the one that we had on YouTube, it was GM.
GM.
GM was on, yeah.
Sponsored by GM, which I wrote this down because this was funny as hell. Sponsored by GM, transportation to serve people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your tagline from 1978. Really, that's pretty fucking.
They had
funny.
the big Tuesday night or Wednesday night lineup is the Lucy Variety Hour is going to have,
Yeah.
and then Dallas. Tone immediately changes.
I used to love that. I used to love. We've talked about that before. I used to love where it'd be like, this Thursday on Cheers, Sam and Diane go on vacation and get into a fight, and then on a very special Fresh Prince, Carlton does heroin. I love you, Carlton. Don't do heroin. It'd always be something like that.
Oh man.
They did leave in a commercial for the Kenner action figures at the end, which was an extended, probably 90-second commercial, which again ruled.
That's cool though.
That is awesome.
I mean, back when I was going to the cons and everything was bootleg videotapes, and you could get your copy of this thing. It would be stuffed in between, the Tracy Lords bootlegs, and then whatever else, like stuff that no one could get on collected videotape at any given point at that time. I never picked this thing up. I remembered as a kid how bad it was. I just didn't remember how really bad it was.
I gotta wonder, did people realize how bad it was?
I think George Lucas did.
I got a feeling some people thought it was still pretty good at the time.
I honestly can't imagine people. I actually can imagine, and Sean kind of mentioned this before, and we'll get into it. People like watching this with their kids going, what the fuck is going on here?
Before,
Yeah.
Well, it's stuffed full of 70s
You say you
goodness.
like this movie?
Yeah. Well, because, I think it's important that we bring this up. So Star Wars comes out May of 77, becomes this fucking cultural phenomenon, like the biggest thing ever.
Ridiculous.
It is still 40 years later, plus years later, shaking the world. It's still a thing. It's, the ninth movie's coming out soon. It is huge, right? And this was the beginning of it. Empire is a year and a half after this thing.
Right.
Not even, maybe like a year and 3 months after this thing. And right in the middle of it, you get this, which if this was like, let's say this was like a little bit bigger. Let's say this was released to theaters. This might have ended fucking Star Wars. It might have killed
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a massive ratings boom, though, because everyone was going to watch this.
Oh, yeah. They were starved for anything Star Wars at that point.
there was
the action
nothing going
figures
on.
weren't even out yet. They didn't come out till after Christmas of 77.
Yeah.
They weren't even produced into 78
That was
yet.
when you bought the
early bird.
the early bird card.
Yes.
And you got the promise of getting
So
was it the original 12?
It was a 12, yeah. So
Yeah.
parents would give them their kids that for Christmas and say, hey, they're coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
You'll get your fucking Greedo when it comes, Jimmy. So first thing I noticed right off the bat on this thing is it starts off and you get the credits, and I immediately think one of my favorite credits in the world is, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, R2-D2 is R2-D2.
Right.
Like,
Wait, did you get Peter Mayhew?
is that what he said?
He says Peter Mayhew.
There's an awful lot of
Yeah, it's so
bad.
bad.
The way they pronounce things
Right.
in here, it's just weird.
I
I
was
think they're
wondering,
still working on it.
I was very much wondering if Kenny Baker just got fucked, and then I read later that he was not involved in
Right.
this.
Yeah, he didn't
It
do
was
it, yeah.
the R2, the few scenes of R2 is an
smart.
animatronic remote control R2.
So they had to cut costs wherever they could.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know where they cut costs? Where they didn't cut costs from the one scene with Mark Hamill is on his cocaine budget. Because did you notice by any chance that he does not blink?
Did you look at
Did
the
you notice
makeup?
that
The makeup,
that it was
Ridiculous clown makeup
Sandy
he had.
Duncan, not Mark Hamill. That was Sandy Duncan.
yeah, you're
What
absolutely
I
right.
thought of was there's a kid cosplaying as X-Wing Luke.
Yeah, that wig was so bad.
Yeah, and I'm kidding because I think Mark Hamill's a clean guy, and we all love Mark Hamill. But if you watch that
doesn't
scene,
blink,
he
yeah.
does not fucking blink
Yeah.
at all. It's creepy. And then, like you said, he's wearing either
He's got
a
eyeliner
wig,
on.
eyeliner.
a
He
weird
has
wig.
got more makeup on than the fucking Joker. And that was
I think
pretty
they had to-
creepy.
there was a point where he's looking away from the camera, and they had to pull the camera back because you could see how much caked makeup was on his face.
Yeah, it was pretty
It
bad.
was awful.
Hair was bleached.
Yeah.
everything. It
Yeah.
just changes his image.
Yeah, and this was before, right? It was this must have been before the accident he had.
Yeah.
Because he had a pretty bad accident. That's why he has the scars in Empire. That's why they wrote in the
Well,
Wampa
I heard it was
attack.
after, actually.
Was it
And
after?
that's
really?
why he was caked in.
Oh,
Oh,
no kidding.
okay.
That's what I heard. I don't know. Could be wrong.
I'll have to look up the
Could be
date.
why
I'll
he
have to-
couldn't blink.
Well, yeah, really. My tear ducts have been sewn shut. Hi, this is Mark Hamill saying I have no tear ducts. So, Sean, you want to give us an idea of what the fuck this thing is about? Because there is, despite the fact that it goes off on some severe tangents, there is a central
You
plot.
can say it in about a dozen words.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I mean, I could cut right to the chase and just say it's about Life Day. Chewie trying to get back to his home planet of Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
Although they say it Kashyyyk.
Did they even say it in this? I didn't.
They said it once.
Yeah, once, and I wrote it down.
And there's
It
some,
was an odd pronunciation.
It was.
Yeah.
Where the hell did I write it? Art Carney.
Trader Sondan or
Hamill's
Dan Son.
bad wig. How much makeup? Oh, Kazook.
Kazook.
That's what he said.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He said Kazook and a Kazook planet, and I said, I'm thinking to myself, like, is that the same planet we're on? Is that the Wookiee planet, or are they talking about? Because they kept bouncing from planet to planet, and
yeah.
they didn't really say anything, and the colors were so bad.
Weird.
So they have this huge holiday called Life Day, because they celebrate. Life.
Yeah.
I don't know the point of it, but
It's Life Day.
yeah, it sure is.
when
And,
the Wookiees all dress up.
yeah,
And as we know,
they put on their red robes. and-
yeah, they float into a star.
So the ending where the Wookiees are wearing their red and white robe. Chewie's got a red robe on. I don't know. Were there other white robes?
They're all wearing
They're
red
all,
think it
robes.
was red.
they were holding those
Orbs?
whatever
Snow globes?
Yeah, I thought
Hands
they're-
across America.
those bad like battery powered candles. It's
Yeah.
I don't know what the
whatever
fuck's
the hell
going
they
on.
were.
I had really checked out at that point. I wasn't paying any attention
you had
anymore.
really
You hung in there pretty long.
really checked
Yeah,
out.
really checked out.
When did you check in?
So they're all they're lined up and they're walking into the light, and it reminded me of the end of or not the end, but one of the scenes in Phantasm where the
Yes.
the trolls or whatever are going into the
Oh,
abyss
right,
or
right,
to
right.
be
Okay.
formed or created.
It reminded me of that.
in a line.
There's a big line of them. Yeah.
It reminded me of like that Hail Bop fucking that Hail Bop cult. I was like, are they gonna are they gonna kill themselves? Are they gonna put on fucking like Nikes and kill themselves in their bunks?
Well,
It
Itchy had to
reminded
find his
me of the
cane.
never-ending story.
Because it felt like it was
Fucking
never
never
ending.
ended.
Yeah.
It just kept going from one thing to the next. at the
It
end.
was 2 hours of misery. Yeah.
This special
140 minutes
I think
plus
this,
commercials.
I think this special here. I think on one of Sean's here. Let me see.
well,
Let me
we
see
have it
that
on
one there,
DVD.
Sean. It says here.
special DVD. Huh?
Sean's DVD cover says air date November 17th, and this is November 17th, 1978. That's when this was shown, and then under it, and this really drives it home. 2 full hours,
Yeah.
because these are not like two like I can't believe 2 hours went by. These are 2 full fucking hours of Star Wars and some weird shit. Weird shit.
I love how they put so much effort into naming Chewie's family. So he's got a wife.
Mala.
Wife
And
Mala.
well, I don't know if it's his dad or her dad.
His dad.
It is?
It is.
Did
his
they
dad.
say that?
That, in one of the things I read, yeah.
And then there's his kid.
It was the dad's itchy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, itchy.
You couldn't tell?
And the boy, yeah.
He was itching to do something.
Yeah.
And Itchy looks terrifying. By the way.
Yes, he does.
I likened him to the crate monster in Creep Show.
Oh yeah.
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 Well, he had that overbite from underneath.
Well, he was supposed to be like the old Wookiee. He also, out of all of them, he was also the only one that like their growls
He was
all
a different
sounded
color as well.
He was a different color, and their growls all sounded
He's
Wookiee-ish.
old.
He sounded like a panther or some shit. Every time he growled, it was like it was totally different than the that thing.
Well, he chewed his gums a lot, too. So.
Well, yeah,
he sure did.
yeah. Well, when you
When you're old.
Can't afford the dentures.
yeah, when you're old, you just got to do what you got to do. So
Or as a line is said in this, oh, why all the long hairy faces?
yeah. Oh God.
Did you like when they were referred to as shag carpets or whatever?
Oh, yeah,
Carney?
yeah.
Hey, the shag
Yeah,
carpet is
when
going
he
to be
was
delivered.
talking in code.
Yeah.
Art Carney.
We got a shag
Dialing
carpet
it in
coming.
for that paycheck.
Handmade if you get solo.
So Art Carney plays.
Art Carney from Connecticut, mind you.
My dad hates Art Carney.
Because he was a bastard.
My dad worked for a certain company for many years, a grocery chain, and he worked on the shore for many years. And
Yeah.
Art Carney lived on the shore.
Yep.
And I remember being younger and my dad talking about Art Carney, about how everybody in town hated him because he drove a white Corvette. He was known for being a douchebag driver, and he used to park up like in handicap spots. He used to park in front of the store and block off because he was Art Carney, and he would go in and everything.
Art Carney
know?
was
Bastard.
he was a very unusual person.
Yeah.
And the older he got, the more ornery he got because he was in Middletown for a long period of time.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was definitely the best part of the show.
He, you know what? Look, let's be honest. There
Wait.
I have a better part for it, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Art Carney, out of all the acting in the show, was the most amusing.
Oh, the acting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking
So
about.
you're saying he was better than Harvey Korman?
Yeah, I love Harvey Korman.
Arthur.
I wasn't too impressed with Harvey Korman. In the
Harvey Korman, I don't think knew what he
I
was
love
doing.
Harvey
He
Korman,
was
but-
like, "What kind of material
Yeah.
you're giving me?" What
B.
the-
Arthur didn't even know it was for Star Wars.
I don't think anybody knew what. I think that
I don't think anyone knew what it was.
right. I think
Yeah.
they just said, okay, maybe at that time, maybe it was still contractual. And it's like you got to do an hour of TV for
Yeah.
us. Sing a song, B. Arthur, at the fucking Mos Eisley Cantina. And she's like, what is that? We'll give you a show in like 10 years about you and 3 other old ladies, and it'll be great. Okay, I'll do it.
I think considering what she did in that scene, which we'll talk about later, I think she did that very, very well.
No, she did.
No. What the scene's about, which
Oh, okay.
we'll get to.
All right.
We should knock it off like scene by scene.
Okay,
here.
so-
everyone listening that hasn't seen this thing can run away.
Do you want to go through the cast?
Yeah, let's go through the cast real quick. Yeah.
All right. So, well, we mentioned a bunch of these. So we had Sandy Duncan as Mark Hamill. We had Harrison Ford.
Oh, he looks so happy to be there.
Yeah,
You know what? I wanted to say this real quick about Harrison Ford, though. And again, this is way early in his career, so he wasn't the curmudgeon he's known to be.
Right.
But even though you know that he probably hated this at the time, he still he gave it. I mean,
gave it, yeah.
I'm not saying it was like
considering all of these people. They all pretty much did what they were supposed to do.
there were some of the guest stars, like you said, Harvey Korman was a little like that guy's funny, and
he's
he was
Harvey
just,
Korman.
He really couldn't do much with anything.
No.
But Harrison Ford, if this
Bad
was
scene.
now, and they said to Harrison Ford for Force Awakens, you got to do a holiday special, he would have been like, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
you know. But he actually, there were some good moments between him and Chewbacca.
Did you see him on Conan O'Brien's show?
I meant to watch that
No.
afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah, he had a little bit where Conan brought it up, and Harrison Ford, he was just sitting there rocking back and forth, rubbing the arms of the chair. He's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
He's like, "That show you did." What show? I don't know.
Carrie Fisher, from what I read, was the only one that ever acknowledged it, like later on in her career, and
because they paid her in cocaine.
they paid her in
I
cocaine.
got a quote from Peter Mayhew.
Okay.
Later on.
Oh,
as well.
do you?
Carrie
Awesome.
A
Fisher.
very positive quote.
Well, he was the star,
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
being the star,
Well,
and they gave him pretty top billing when they go down the cast list in the beginning of the show. It's not like he's 7th or 8th.
No.
He's like 4th, I think.
I'll get to it.
The only problem is he's Peter Mayhew.
Peter Mayhew.
But the one
But
thing
they did spell it right.
The one thing I did want to say real quick with that was that Carrie Fisher apparently had said to George Lucas at one point many years later that she wanted him to get her. She wanted a copy from him. And he was like, why would you want that? She said that when she has parties at her house, she wants to put something on to get people out of the fucking house.
I'll do it.
All right, Lloyd, I'm sorry, the cast list.
so-
The fucking Sandy Duncan as Mark Hamill's fucking great.
Yeah.
God, I hope Mark Hamill hears this.
Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, C-3PO.
Fucker.
Peter Mayhew, which is the correct way to pronounce his name.
Yes.
R2-D2 as R2-D2. James Earl Jones
As the voice.
as the voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
What did he get? 2 lines?
2 lines.
I don't even know if they were...
I don't even.
They were like stock lines.
I think
from
they were
the
stock
movie.
lines.
Yeah.
I don't think they were stock lines, but the footage was stock.
Yeah,
the footage
yeah,
was,
The lines
yeah.
were actually new. And I heard this was the first time he allowed himself to be credited as Darth
Okay.
Vader.
Oh, really?
That
Until
is true.
Jedi.
That is true. Yep.
Yeah, because he's like, I didn't do anything. I just lent my voice.
Right.
Yep. I didn't write down the Chewbacca family. B. Arthur as Akmina. Art Carney as Sondan, the traitor.
Trader Sondan.
Unforgettable Diane Carroll as Mermea. Jefferson Starship, the band.
Yeah.
This was Marty Balin.
His last
Yeah,
appearance.
his last appearance
until-
with Jefferson Starship
Yep.
until like 20 years later.
Yeah, until 94.
They recorded their song in October. This was shown in November.
Right.
And this is, you got to wonder if he's just like, this is what we're coming to. I'm the fuck out of here.
Well, I think considering the upheaval of that particular band,
Yeah.
this was just the final nail in the coffin.
And then finally Harvey Korman.
Harvey Korman in 3 roles, right? He was the 6-armed
he had
cook.
3 roles.
He was
Yeah.
the weird malfunctioning
Tromboid, I think.
Yeah, the droid that was trying to teach him how to
right.
build the Texas Instruments
That was the
calculator.
most bizarre thing.
You didn't find that funny?
Oh my god, I could not wait.
It's good as Harvey Korman versus pantomime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then of course he
worked so
played
well.
the bar fly that was in love with
Yeah,
Akamina,
with the volcano on top of
who
his head.
pours his drinks directly into his fucking
which
head.
went nowhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
no.
was talk about a plot that was like, where's this going? And it went nowhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so
So you want to go like bit by bit?
well, let's just kind of go. Let's go loosely bit by bit. So this thing
loosely.
starts off, and we're at the we're in the Chewbacca residence.
Well, even before then, you get the whole setup with Han and Chewie
Right,
taking
flying
off from a
the
planet,
Millennium
and that's where you
Falcon.
start getting your stock footage.
Right.
It's actually not a bad start.
No,
In the
isn't.
cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, getting
It's-
chased
it's
down by a
it's
Star
little-
Destroyer. Yeah,
It's a little cheesy. I mean, the bouncing was like, how many guys have they got,
that
shoving the
wasn't-
chair up and down while he's like,
that wasn't the actual cockpit set, was it?
No,
It
I
seemed
don't think
very
so.
small.
I saw a little footage of it. They made a little
Yeah.
The little thing.
It was
there for
pretty close though.
Yeah.
Considering.
No, it looked
Yeah.
good enough for a TV show.
compared to some of the other things they put together.
Yeah.
So the plot is that they're trying to get Han is trying. They're going to outrun the Star Destroyers and the TIE fighters.
Yep.
Because Han has every year gotten Chewie back.
I'll get you there, buddy.
To Kazook, aka Kashyyyk, for Life Day. Calm down, buddy. I got you there last year, didn't I? We're just gonna stop for a little bit of Corellian spice. So
I got to do the calculations so it jumped to cash.
hold on, we're gonna jump to light speed, buddy. So they're heading back to Kazook
man.
to see Chewie's never before mentioned family, and not in Star Wars.
No.
So we got Itchy, his father.
Yeah.
Lumpy, his son, and Mala, the only one that doesn't have a word for a name, Mala, his wife. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So now we switch to their perspective. They're in their
treehouse.
apartment house, and
About
you get a
150
straight,
feet off the ground.
way off the ground,
Yeah.
right? You know this because every time you look outside the matte painting that's really shitty,
Yeah.
they're really high up.
And keep in mind that we're watching a videotape copy that's been digitized for
Yeah.
YouTube, so the color is off, everything's off,
Very muted, and
it's
some things are
just-
very bright.
Yeah, it's just what happens with old TV.
Yeah.
So who knows? It might have been from a Betamax for all we know.
Yeah, very possible.
Doesn't look like it.
You
but-
you end up with this thing, and fuck it, the next 9-minute sequence is 3 Wookiees talking to each other in Wookiee.
In Wookiee.
and I was a little surprised. I didn't remember that. I remember them talking a lot.
Your parents do when you were watching. They're
I'm
like,
sure
"What
they-
the fuck is this?"
God, I can't believe I took over our lone color TV for 2 hours in 1978 for this. Sorry.
Where's Wonder Woman?
And it was a Friday night because I think Incredible Hulk was a
It was
Friday night.
it was the Friday. It was the what does it say? 28th? No, 17th. It was the week before Thanksgiving.
Oh,
I was
well,
reading
that
that.
makes
It's the week
sense.
before
All right.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so then all the kids could have something to talk about in school.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
that half week that we had then. For television, for them to take all this fucking ridiculous story that they've got that they slapped together in some bad writer's room where they're blowing lines of coke and God knows what else.
Yeah.
The costumes of the Wookiees aren't bad.
No, they're
When you're-
pretty good.
You know, I remember them being pretty shitty, but the more I looked at Itchy, he is fucking terrifying.
He'll kill you.
He'll kill
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And,
Attack
that,
you and kill you.
and
Yeah.
that bottom jaw, it would move so much. It was pretty cool. The more you looked at it, how it would just
It
waver
went
around.
right up over the top jaw.
Yeah, the ability of the people underneath the costumes to actually make everything work so you can understand what was going on. That's full on pantomime. No one does that shit anymore.
Yeah, no, it was good.
It's impressive, but my God.
9 minutes.
Yeah.
9 minutes of
That's a lot.
Straight up 9 minutes of fucking Wookiee talk.
Not
And-
only that, I was starting to hate Lumpy about 3 minutes in.
when he started watching the dancers on the little hollow.
Even before that, I was like, this
God
kid's a
damn
fucking
it.
brat.
He was getting in trouble for like no reason too. Like, everything he did, like, it's like I'm just walking here. What the
And Lumpy,
Stealing a half a banana.
Lumpy was like if you looked at Lumpy as a character, like if Lumpy came out today, it would be like the Porg or Baby Yoda. Everybody would love Lumpy. But like if you looked at Lumpy in this thing and you see
Maybe
him
if
in
it
a,
wasn't called Lumpy.
in a far shot, you're like, oh look, Chewbacca's kid is cute. Every time they did one of those tight face
the tight
shots,
face,
and you
yeah.
could see the human aspects, the
Yeah.
eyes and the
Yeah.
teeth, it was the creepiest fucking shit of all time.
Yeah.
I was like, get Lumpy the fuck out of my life right now.
I'm pretty sure because I saw the cast list of the characters afterwards, Lloyd, and I think the only one that was female in those
Lumpy.
was Lumpy.
Lumpy
yeah.
was Tammy
female, yeah.
something, yeah.
Because Mala, who I thought did really well for whatever Mala is supposed to be, a female Wookiee.
Yeah.
We don't really know anything about it. It's a guy,
Yep.
Was Mala a dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
unless you know a girl named Tim. or
Tim.
whatever. Pete.
A girl named Jeremy. All right,
A
so
boy named Sue.
so what do we get? We have them waiting for Chewbacca to come home, right?
Yep.
And then we get a quick moment where we get to see the incredible technology of the time long ago when Lumpy watches the I don't know
Acrobatic thing.
the fucking Iraqi Cirque du Soleil do their shit.
Yeah.
That was awful.
That was horrendous.
Punching the buttons on the tape recorders
Yes.
stuffed into the table.
But he was loving it though. He was watching it intently. He's like, yeah.
Now, you weren't here for this. You guys were here for it when we had Larry on. We were doing the Universal House of Horrors. Did anybody else feel like that those people were Dr. Pretorius's little?
Oh yeah.
Remember Pretorius had his little. They're my seed.
They were in a jar.
I felt like those were Pretorius's little like people like dancing around. It was just. And I thought, and here's the thing with that
didn't even think
sequence.
of that.
That sequence is like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So that scene was intended to amuse the people watching it. And for me, I was just like, get to the fucking next thing.
I think it was trying to mix in that late 70s idea of a variety show, because they were all over the networks then.
There was tons of variety shows back then.
Yeah,
that was the big thing.
Yeah.
Considering what they crammed into this piece of shit, it felt like that's what they were trying to do with this overarching idiotic storyline of Life Day, which we never really got the idea of.
And gymnastics was pretty big back then.
Yeah.
With the Olympics and stuff.
And I'm trying to remember
Nadia Comaneci.
when Mark Hamill appeared on the Muppet Show.
That must have been a year later, or maybe 79.
Maybe.
See, he looked like Luke then.
Yeah, he did look like Luke.
Not on this one.
No,
Yeah, and I know it was before Empire, so I just
so maybe
couldn't-
79
maybe
because the Muppet Show went off the air in 81.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would say probably 79 because that was great.
Well, it's in.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the DVD collections I have. I think it's the 3rd season.
Okay,
So I think what's that? It started in 76.
76, so 79ish.
79.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. All right. That. All right. There we go.
yeah.
That's what we get.
Disney. Real quick aside.
Hive mind thoughts.
Real quick aside. So we got Disney Plus now, and the first day we had Disney Plus, I watched the Muppet movie, and then a week later I watched Great Muppet Caper. I love both those movies. I hadn't seen Great Muppet Caper in a long time. I'd always been of the mind that Great Muppet Caper was the better of the two movies.
It's not.
It's not.
No, it's not.
Muppet movie.
It's fun,
it's fun, but Muppet movie is fucking
Vastly
superior.
Yeah.
Muppet movie's a great movie.
It is a great movie, and I just hadn't seen Great Muppet, but I always thought when I think of them, I'm like, okay, Manhattan was not good, but Great Muppet Caper, that was like an improvement. No, man, no, Muppet movie is definitely better.
I didn't
so.
mind Muppet Steak Manhattan.
I didn't
didn't realize
either.
I was in a minority.
No, I didn't either.
Okay.
I still think it's not as good as the Great Muppet Caper, and obviously it's not going to beat the first movie, but I didn't hate it.
No.
I think it's superior than, say, most of the ones that came afterwards.
I like the Treasure Island.
Treasure Island is fun.
I watch the Christmas one with Lindsay all the time.
The Christmas one
Muppet-
actually
the
works.
Carol, yeah,
Yeah.
and even the if we're gonna stop at the original line, not getting into the ones they did recently,
I haven't seen
the
any of
Muppets
those.
from Space was fun.
That was fun.
but it's definitely like low grade.
Yeah.
Like all the guest stars are like it's like Ray Liotta. It's like, but it's not like Goodfellas Ray Liotta. It's like Ray Liotta 15 years after Goodfellas.
Fat Ray Liotta.
Fat Ray Liotta.
Poor Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
All right. So getting back to boy, it was so nice to get away from the holiday special for 2 minutes.
Oh, the tangent.
So okay.
Life Day.
So then we get introduced to Art Carney.
Yep.
Art Carney is playing everybody's favorite trader, Dan. Right?
Trader Dan.
Oh, hey, Mala. How you doing?
Yeah.
Some kind of junk store.
He's got
where-
that Imperial Trooper nosing around.
That scene was fucking great.
I like the guy, the trooper that was in there, or whatever he was, the lieutenant. Every time he spoke, it was never on camera. Did
No.
you notice that?
Yes. It was dubbed.
Had a great voice. Whoever did the voice was awesome because he was so dark and mean. But every time the camera went to him, he wasn't speaking. And he had that
Empire-
awful porn stash.
The Empire as a whole in this special, the stormtroopers, the whatever, the fucking the
Death Star
captains,
gunner
the
or
Death Star
whatever.
gunner,
Yeah.
they're all so much more mean and intimidating than they are in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, like there's the bit with Trader Dan where he's like, showing him that fucking, I don't know, vibrator toothbrush thing,
Right.
water pick, dick warmer, and he's like, I'll take it, and he's like, okay, it'll be 30 credits. He's like, I said I'd
I'll
take
take
it, I don't want to say no to you. You know Palpatine. let's not fucking lie. You've never even been in the same room as a Palpatine. You've never even been near Grand Moff Tarkin, or he's dead by this point. But
I love how he's like, oh, I carry all the things the Wookiees like. The Wookiees really like this stuff,
yeah,
Oh, hi.
yeah. It,
These Wookiees eat it up.
I couldn't tell at first. Lloyd, did you think at first like he ends up being sympathetic to the Wookiees? He ends up being like a rebel.
For sure.
But at the first, did you think that maybe this guy was like duplicitous? You know what I mean? He was going to turn out to be a shitbag.
No, I didn't think that.
No?
No, I didn't.
All right, I was feeling that at first.
I got that power core, you know.
Yeah. Hey, Mala, I got that special power core you've been looking for. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Stupid fucking Wookiee. I'm trying to let you know something, you stupid fucking animal.
You get what I mean?
Do you get what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you fucking idiot.
Hey, she made it by hand.
Solo. Hand solo.
Yeah, what a line.
Yeah, it's just great.
Just for you.
That's for all the 6-year-olds that are watching.
God. All right, so...
Mom, I want to watch.
He said Han Solo.
So Trader Dan ends up bringing them things that they ordered, right? So I mean, yeah, one of them is I don't know what the fuck. What was the thing he brought Lumpy? What was that thing he was building with the help of robotic Harvey
Some
Korman?
transistor thing.
It looked like a light bright. Remember those things?
Yes, I love Light Bright.
yeah.
They still make them.
Do they really?
I went to my buddy's house for Christmas last year.
I can't imagine kids actually
His
thinking
kid
that's
had
fun.
one up on the fucking mantle. I said, "Is that a fucking Light Bright?"
But you skipped something before our Carney shows up there.
What happened?
Was the cooking show.
Oh God!
No, I didn't skip anything, Lloyd. I spared everybody.
He's cooking what, bantha strips or something?
Bantha
loin.
It was bantha loin.
Yeah.
But he said it was bantha loin, or if you're feeding more, you can have bantha rump.
Yes.
Is what he said. If you're gonna have a party of like 50,
Our banthas pretty big.
banthas are fucking
Right?
huge.
And he had just a tiny little strip.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
the fuck is that?
This is like veal bantha. This is a baby bantha.
I don't know.
Yeah,
And just
I
remember,
don't know.
even Wookiees wear aprons.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of fur there. You don't want to get bantha.
So there's a whole Harvey Korman's
gross.
first appearance, right?
It's all matted.
Harvey Korman's first appearance is as a robotic. Was it a robot or an alien?
No, that was
an
an
alien.
alien. Well, we only saw
Six-armed.
5, right?
yeah.
Right. Well, the arms came out right at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Were there we only saw 5? We didn't see the full 6.
Yeah, I think there's. I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't remember now. I
gotta go back and watch it now.
No, please don't, Sean. Don't do that to yourself. I know
it
you
was,
have 2
it was
copies
like
here,
a bad purple version of what's her name? The cooking guy.
Julia Child.
Julia Child, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and you know that's what this was a satire.
Oh,
of.
absolutely.
Yeah, because I kept thinking of Saturday Night Live.
The blood.
In 78, that joke kills.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, the
Right?
Julia Child humor in 78 is like right the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
out
top
here.
notch.
Yeah.
And that's the first moment I'm looking at Harvey Korman and I'm thinking, he's got no idea what he's rolled himself into. He's fully painted. He's wearing a bad wig.
Oh, yeah.
The
heart-shaped
arms
wig.
coming out.
Do you think he went into to his agent or to like the Mary Tyler or not Mary Tyler the fucking Carol Burnett his producers there and goes, why didn't you fucking send Lyle Wagner? Why the fuck didn't you send Conway?
Yeah, why didn't Conway
eats this
go?
shit up.
Which was even better because at the
I'm
end,
Harvey Korman. I work with Mel fucking Brooks.
Did you hear it at the end of the show where they were talking about some variety show and they mentioned Lyle Wagner?
Yeah.
I was like, Lyle Wagner was a star then.
Well, wasn't Lyle Wagner on Wonder Woman
was
at that
on Wonder
point?
Woman,
He
yeah.
was Steve Austin, right? Yeah.
No, not Steve Austin. He was who was Steve Austin.
Steve Trevor.
That's a bionic
$6 million man.
Yeah.
Trevor.
Steve Trevor, sorry.
He was Steve Trevor. He was Colonel Steve Trevor in the original, and then he became like his
great-grandson.
grandson or something. Yeah.
All right, look. We're dancing around something really big here.
Star Wars.
We're dancing around something very big here, and I don't want to dance around it anymore. All right? I want to talk about Itchy's fucking porno chair.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
All right?
That's impressive.
Is that next?
I feel like we can't get... I don't know if
pretty
it's
much.
next. I think we're
Yeah,
pretty
that's
much
the next
there.
thing.
Even if we're going to skip
You
a little
see
bit.
a
I
little
wanna talk about
Vader.
it.
You see a little Vader, and they're talking about the blockade.
Yeah.
But
Star Wars is
that's
fucking huge
so
on
much.
blockades.
They're just filling time.
the ridiculous stock footage they were shoving in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's where you kept seeing the 2 Star Destroyers coming at you in the same formation.
Yeah.
It was like a bad cartoon.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
How many different Star Wars things? Rebels, the cartoon, the movies, the books revolve around blockades of planets.
I know.
The Empire, the reason they keep losing is that they're fucking always blockading a planet, but they're only doing it from one side. So anybody can just go to the fucking far side of the planet and you can land there and we'll just walk over.
In fairness, the prequels were all about like trade tariffs and shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
And voting and Senate votes.
I knew I was in trouble.
The bureaucracy is miserable,
Yeah.
and that's why those movies didn't kick.
I knew I was in trouble when I went to go see fucking
Okay.
The Phantom Menace,
Maybe it
and
wasn't-
the opening crawl is about trade tariffs, and then immediately it starts off with like 3 Chinese aliens. It's like, oh no,
The communication.
communications are down. Oh no, someone didn't stop George Lucas. I hope we don't end up with a fucking Rastafarian alien in this.
Oh, hey.
Do we know
Let me
how
introduce
involved he was in this, or did he just hand over the keys?
He handed it over.
That's
I
what
was
I was gonna
reading
say,
about it
yeah.
He
afterwards.
wrote it, right? Or he helped write
He
it?
helped. He helped.
There were two big names attached to it.
Bruce Valanche.
Well,
Bruce one of them.
yeah,
Bruce
which
Valanche.
that doesn't help. That's where all the bad Art Carney jokes come from.
Yeah.
You know.
He essentially, I guess, got it on.
He got it solo.
He got it made by hand.
Made by hand.
hand solo.
Oh.
Did you just say hand solo? Oh fuck! This guy's not as this stormtrooper isn't as dumb as this Wookiee.
Bringing you this power core.
No, Lucas kind of got it like going. He felt like it was a good idea, at least for the brand, which he said later on obviously wasn't a good idea. But
it
he basically ended up turning over all the production and everything to the variety show people. There was actually people that were, some of the producers were like Bruce Valanche were writers and producers of some of those variety shows at that point because they knew what they were doing with that.
Well, I'm sure, knowing what I know of how the networks worked back then, I'm sure when this came into the network itself, they were like, well, we're not going to give it to a crew that's already working on a TV show. We're going to give it to the people that do the specials.
Right.
Which are all the people that do the variety shows.
right.
So that's pretty much how it got picked to them. So
Yeah. Sean, did you notice that we once again got away from something? What did we get away from?
Oh boy, where were we? The porno chair.
Thank you. Thank you. I really want to talk about this porno chair.
Oh yeah,
So
I want to own one.
But
Yeah.
aliens are funny.
So Trader Dan brings Itchy a bunch of like cartridges, right? Right? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
And he immediately goes into like his part of the domicile where he has this like
Right
chair.
in the middle of the living
Right in the
room.
middle of the living
behind the
room.
curtain.
Porn chair.
Essentially, he has a chair that he's gonna knock one out in, I guess. And he plugs it in
And cassettes, too,
in a cassette,
mind you.
in a cassette.
Yeah.
And who shows up but very beautiful too.
Very
Diane Carroll. With what the fuck was in her hair?
Well, that was very 70s disco.
Yeah, it was it was like those like diamondy
Yeah.
like cornrow type things.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Was that woven into her hair, or was that just like a?
It looked like it was part
a
of the hair.
hairpiece.
Yeah, it looked like part of the hair.
Yeah, I'd seen so much that. Come on, you remember this?
Oh, no, I
from
do.
Buck
I
Rogers
do,
and shit
absolutely.
like that.
Absolutely.
It was in everything.
So Lloyd, she
Doctor Detroit.
yeah. So she ends up coming on, and at this point, what are you thinking? Are you thinking that she's going to burst into song?
I'm thinking, yeah, she's going to go into some kind of song.
That's what I was thinking.
And then you get,
John saying.
I'm drinking.
she just starts going on this diatribe about pleasure and, I'm here for you and
Experience
the
me.
Experience me, right.
I mean,
Can you just think about this? This
What
is
are
the
8-year-old
first-
kids thinking?
They're not.
they're not. The parents
The
are
parents
going,
are.
what
Yeah.
the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Sean,
This is the first cyber sex situation.
Yes.
Or cybernetic. Or
They're ahead of their time.
Yeah. Whoa.
like you're like
The
let's
Wookiees, man, they got it going on.
let's say you're there we go.
Yeah.
Let's say your son,
Cops are
right?
coming.
Somebody heard
you got a
Diane
son
Carroll's
around
name.
what age?
12.
12. You got a 12-year-old son. Let's say your son, whatever the newest big craze is right now. I don't know. I'm not in touch. Let's say it's Pokemon or something. And he says, "Dad, there's a Pokemon holiday special on." And you're like, "Okay, cool. I know nothing about Pokemon, but you're going to watch it with him." If this shit turned on,
Yeah, right?
what would your thoughts be at that point? And again, let's say your son was like 12 kids know. Let's say he was like 8. Like kids are having an idea at 12, but at 8, they're still a little more innocent.
Yeah.
8 years old, and you're sitting there going, "This is fucking getting weird."
Yes,
I
and it would be.
am severely worried that the older white Wookiee is going to start fucking snapping one off on the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Well, at that point, you let them leave
They
the
kept
room.
going to his face,
continue
and he
watching.
looked like he was snapping one.
Well, and it made it worse because he has that like
he has that underbite, overbite.
and
That's what made it worse.
like,
It's not the fact that he's this giant hairy thing and she's not.
Yeah, the interspecies attraction.
get your kids out of the fucking room.
Yeah.
All right, get your kids out of the
gotta
fucking
leave.
room.
Oh, Itchy.
Yeah.
This is why his name is Itchy.
Did she? Now I got to admit that I watched this in 3 viewings. Like I said, fell asleep during one, and this was the point where I fell asleep during one. Did she ever sing a song?
Yeah, she sang.
She does.
Okay,
yeah.
I think.
It's short.
Okay, because
But
I think I might have missed her.
That's
song.
how they cover their asses. See, she was going to sing.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I mean, when she actually did sing, one, it was really good. It was really trippy.
Yeah.
But compared to the later Jefferson Starship,
She was much better.
She's
than
so
them, as far
much
as
better.
The singing goes.
Yeah, they were certainly paid in fucking cocaine and maybe some other
I
fucking
think
things.
the cameramen were paid something because the focus on it was just weird.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that scene real quick too. We'll just knock it out there too. So Trainer Dan, right, is trying to
I think
distract
that's
the
the next
Imperials.
scene.
Is it the next
Yeah.
scene?
Hey, I got this thing I'm going to show you here.
Yeah. Sit down, enjoy this. And he puts him in front of a fucking, I don't know, ColecoVision.
Yeah. It's like a
Apple-
tiny concert in a box.
Yeah.
It was an Apple IIe, actually.
Yeah. He puts him down in front of an Apple IIe, and what does he do? He plugs this thing in.
Yeah, he's like, now watch it. See, because he's trying to show him that it was what it was, that it wasn't, spy equipment, espionage,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's what it is, yeah.
Now watch this and be entertained.
And Sean, what did it end up being?
It was a trippy Jefferson Starship music video.
Do you have the name of the song? Was it Light Up the Sky or
Right
something?
up the sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess was released as a single after this.
It
So-
was. And like we said, the lead singer quit because he was like, what the fuck just happened to my band?
Marty
Oh,
Balin,
I'm sorry.
who-
Light the sky on fire.
Light the Sky on Fire.
Yeah.
Marty Balin, who had been with the Jefferson Airplane and then Jefferson Starship, was this was the line in the sand for him.
Yeah.
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 That's 20 years of singing with a band.
How about the beginning when it's saying and you see the silhouette and you got that just big, giant, I'll say cigar-shaped microphone?
I said to Lindsay, I said, is he singing into a glowing pink dildo?
Yeah.
Like, did you, Sean, you noticed that, right?
I didn't
you
want to
could
notice
not
it.
notice that.
It's like,
was so
I
weird.
think the actual word I said was, I said, it looks like he's singing into a glowing pink corn dog.
If you ever seen the video of Closer from 9 Inch Nails,
Yes.
there's a very similar scene.
I wonder if they were influenced by that.
Yeah.
Could be.
I love how
frickin' Lord.
the
But that
Imperial,
early, though. I don't know.
yeah.
No, Closer came after.
Oh, I meant influenced by the holiday special.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yes,
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah. All right, cut that out.
I will.
But by that point, that had just aired that one time. Like tape trading and stuff hadn't really caught on. So how could they have seen it? Sorry to inject some reality.
No, but you know Trent Reznor's the guy who has all that fucking
true.
bootleg shit.
I do love how the Imperial sat and watched the whole thing. He didn't turn it off halfway.
And they kept
okay.
They kept going to the shot of him tapping on the
Yeah,
Apple
yeah,
IIe.
this is pretty good.
He's like, "Fuck yeah!"
I'm digging this. Yep.
Let the bookies go.
Meanwhile, the stormtroopers are tossing the place looking for rebel contraband.
they're
and
tossing
you
So
know-
angrily, too. You know,
Yeah.
super angrily. Every time that a stormtrooper in this thing felt threatened, they went right for the gun right in your fucking face.
And
move.
I have a reason for that.
Okay, what's the reason?
I have a reason for a lot of the things that happened in this show.
Give us some. I want reasoning for this goddamn
All right.
thing.
So this is after the Star Wars movie had just become this massive blockbuster. They didn't know what the hell they were doing with it. They're still trying to figure out the figures. They still want to push out as much material as they possibly can and make some money off this thing. This is when the toys are coming out. They made a gun. Do you not remember that? They made an Imperial Stormtrooper gun.
Yeah.
The whole thing you could hold.
And this is
so
the
they're
only-
showing this fucker off is what they're doing.
And
That's
this
a good point.
This
yeah.
They're
special-
showing that off. When they get to the cantina scene, they show you every single goddamn alien
Yeah, yeah.
that they're going to make a figure out of.
Yeah,
Every single one of them.
they had Walrus Man.
every one of them.
They had, even though it might have been the same one, they had Greedo.
Yeah,
They
it
called
was,
him Lambert. What was it?
It was Ludlow.
Ludlow.
Right.
His brother.
That's the thing. Is she gave all those aliens a name in that entire scene, which I
Yeah,
thought
she
was
did.
really kind of cool.
Because she was running Cheers, where everybody
She
knows her
was,
name.
but I mean, for what it was, for that stupid scene, I mean, she made it work.
Yeah.
And for selling those figures eventually, look
Hey,
at
it
how they
worked.
sold. Yeah,
It worked.
Every single one of those aliens that you got to see briefly in the cantina
Right.
scene.
Even Satan, who put a gun in her face.
Yeah.
Demanded
He's in Star Wars too. He's in one quick
he is.
scene. Yeah.
They never made a figure of him though.
No, there's a ton of them that and then she pets Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Well, the mouse that's stuck in the corner there, she hung out with that thing for a while, and I've seen the
big
movie.
mouse.
Yeah, that giant mouse. Weird.
Yeah.
No, she's like all over half of these
Again,
characters.
a lot of cocaine here.
Yeah, no, definitely that.
This was also the only time. I mean, maybe this is just me as a Star Wars fan.
B. Arthur.
Yeah, B. Arthur.
They should have made a B. Arthur figure.
I said to Lindsay, I said, yeah, really. Wait, real quick.
tell me.
Did you look this up? They actually talked to Kenner, I believe, about making figures based on the holiday special. And when the holiday special came out and kind of like became like it immediately was kind of like considered like lame. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like Phantom Menace where people had to go after like a year ago. That wasn't very good. Like, there wasn't a lot of people denying this was bad that they decided not to. But I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised in today's day and age with Star Wars celebrations and where they actually have fan voted figures. They have a figure for fucking the guy in Empire Strikes Back they call Ice Cream Maker Man. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's a black guy in Empire Strikes Back who's running in the background of Bespin when they're leaving Bespin, and he's holding what looks like an ice cream maker. And amongst Star Wars fans, they've called this guy, he's got a name, it's Wilro Hood, and they call him Ice Cream Maker Man.
Hoodie.
And 3 years ago, during one of the celebrations, they made a figure of him. I'm amazed that they have not made figures of like Akamina and Trader Sandan.
Yeah.
Like, because, even though it's considered a joke, I think the only reason they haven't is because maybe Lucas still has his hands in enough to just be like, maybe that was part of his thing. You're never, here, Disney, give me $18 billion. Only thing I ask is that you don't fucking make figures from that piece of shit or ever release it.
Well, and considering that how hard he buried this thing after this, it's available on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't go after these people.
Yeah, maybe he's like, fuck it. I got my 18
There's probably
billion.
some homemade Japanese figures out there.
Oh, I'm definitely.
Yeah.
I'm still saying Hasbro will eventually, with their Black Series line, they'll come out with a Life Day Chewbacca.
Yeah.
With the hood. Or the
With
robe.
the weird robe,
Little thing in his hand. Oh, God.
And it will sell like hotcakes.
Well, I mean,
I want them to do figures based off of the animated portion of it, where they have 3 fingers.
I actually do have. It came out in 2007, and I bought it because I'm a Boba Fett fan.
Yeah, it's on the trilogy, right?
I
Blu-ray?
don't remember when they put it out, but I have the animated
So you do have
debut Boba Fett figure.
That's cool. Yeah, that was
that's
2007.
Yeah,
around there.
I've got that. Yep.
It's weird when I remembered a lot about the special when I was a kid, but when it came to when I was an adult and it was hitting the circuit of bootlegs, I don't remember that animated portion. I remember seeing images from it, but as far as me remember watching it, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
The only thing I know about it, other than I didn't write it down, the people that he hired to do it.
Oh, Nelvana.
Well, yes, Nelvana, and his one demand was he wanted it to look like a Mobius strip.
Oh,
And
that happened.
does look like it does look like Mobius.
It looks like it came right out of a heavy metal comic.
Yes.
It really does.
It does.
And it's not a bad sequence.
It's got some interesting stuff.
It's
That's
pretty
part
cool.
of the movie for me.
Yeah,
It came out in 2011, by the way.
that's been said for many years.
the cartoon on the
Hard to argue,
Blu-ray.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, the cartoon's available on the Blu-ray.
On the Blu-ray, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
2011.
On the first trilogy set
Yeah.
they did. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so that they cut out and said, "Oh, we'll let people
Yeah,
see
this we can release.
Well, because that's the debut of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett,
Yeah.
Or as he's known sometimes as Bob A. Fett. But
I've never heard that.
And they went on to do the Ewoks and the droids cartoons.
Yeah.
in the 80s, too.
Yeah, you could tell with the bendiness of everything.
Yeah.
and that droids cartoon, that's not terrible.
I've never seen droids.
It wasn't bad.
I think when those came out, I was getting a little older. I didn't watch them, but I do remember pretty well being in like 4th and maybe 5th grade and being very excited and watching like at night and going to school the next day to talk about Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage.
Oh, those things
Yeah.
were not
those
good.
shit bags.
Yeah.
You ever see those?
Never.
Brimley.
No, not at all.
Two made-for-TV movies. It's amazing how when you talk about something like Star Wars,
I got them diabetes.
yeah, Wilford Brimley.
Diabetes.
Wilford Brimley on Endor. He looks like he's 96. He's actually 42.
Right? Yeah. They're not good, but they were big. They were big.
They were fucking terrible too. Yeah,
Never saw.
Yeah. Don't ever bother. Don't ever.
I wasn't
bother.
that
if you're
big
not
of a
into
Star
the
Wars
Ewoks,
Yeah.
I remember in fifth
No, I
grade.
never even liked the Ewoks, to tell you the truth.
I like. You know what?
I'm not a
Yeah,
fan of
I
the
hate
Ewoks.
I'll be honest real quick, Sean, before you say that.
I like them Wookiees.
I never had a problem with the Ewoks. I
Yeah.
never understood everybody's hatred for the fucking Ewoks.
You know, they're walking shag carpets and all that, but
He wanted it to be Wookiees. He couldn't get it logistically to work out.
Yep.
So he came up with smaller Wookiees. Everybody who's mad about the Ewoks always says the same thing, that he did it to sell toys. He did everything to sell toys, motherfucker.
Of course, yeah.
He
that's
did
all
everything to sell toys.
Porgs.
You know?
well, I think that came after. You know, once Star Wars hit, then it was like, oh shit, we could sell toys.
Right. On Netflix, The Toys That Made Us,
Yes.
particularly the Star Wars episode,
Yeah, it's
to see
good
like
one.
how many companies told him to go fuck himself.
right.
Yeah.
And then Kenner,
And then
this
how
tiny little company.
Kenner just made this right choice at the right time.
It depressed me like no.
Was
one.
that the debut episode of that show?
Yeah.
It was, yes. It was either it was the first season at least.
There was a documentary too, Plastic Galaxy.
Plastic Galaxy, yeah.
That was all about that.
There's a
It was
guy,
great.
you've seen that, right?
Yes.
There's a guy out there who
can't
who
watch
collects,
that stuff.
what was it, B-Wing pilots?
Yeah.
He just, like, that's his whole collection. He goes and finds the B-Wing pilot, which was from the Power of the Force series, like, in, like, the later 80s,
he
after the
want my
Return of the
B-Wing?
Jedi.
He can have
and
my
he just
B-Wing.
buys all the B-Wing. If you can find this guy, he'd buy it for you.
I don't have the pilot. I just have the ship.
I've got a B-wing Lego ship.
B-wing. I love the B-wing. I thought that was an awesome ship in that in that what was that, Return of the Jedi.
Well, we were speaking about the animated bit for a second there, and we said how it was the first time you met Boba Fett. It's also the only time I didn't read any of the EU stuff, but I didn't know that the Y-Wing's fucking cockpit shot out as an escape pod.
Pretty cool, huh?
That was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or it has flotation devices on it.
And
yeah.
so did the Falcon, right? Because they land on a... Now, Sean,
it's a water planet.
was it a diarrhea planet, though? Like,
I don't know.
what was that fudge? What were they...
Yeah, it was. I thought it was lava, but it didn't die. So
Yeah.
it's not lava.
The fucking Falcon and the Y-Wing had flotation, like, bags all over it.
Oh yeah, just
But
land
like,
safely.
what maybe I don't know.
like
Lloyd,
Jell-O.
maybe you could describe what was. I watched that cartoon.
K-E-L-L-O.
What was the plot of that cartoon? Like in terms of like what was happening with Chewbacca and Han? What was the talisman?
You know, I don't know. They
had some
it
kind
didn't
of
matter.
talisman disease.
It didn't matter.
They were just introducing Boba Fett for the movie. That was it.
But they were firing at the Y-wing, weren't they?
Yeah,
yeah.
So like they weren't knocked out completely. I don't know. I didn't get.
And
it
when
either.
they got
was
Chewbacca
like a
on the view
serpent.
screen, Han was hung upside down in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Only reason
he
I'm
knows what he's
asking,
doing, don't worry.
The only reason I'm
Yeah.
asking is because I felt like I watched this and I was awake and I just was like, did I fucking lose time? Was I abducted by aliens and this is why I don't know what happened in this cartoon? It was only like fucking 8 minutes long.
It's in the Splinter of Mind's Eye. I'm sure it's in there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was the only EU that I read.
I read that a long
I
time
remember
ago.
that. It was good.
Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
That wasn't that the one that they didn't use because it refuted the fact that Luke and Leia were brother and sister.
Because they didn't
Okay,
know that
yeah.
at the time.
Yeah, they didn't. He didn't come up with that yet.
Yeah.
So the reason that was never used as canon is because in that one, I think that maybe they fucked. I don't know. Maybe it gets a little dirtier than the creepy kiss they share in fucking Empire. Which was that was a bad choice.
kind of like Halloween 2. They're not brother and sister yet.
Yeah.
Until Halloween 2.
Laurie Strode. Who's
Oh my
that?
God. Take a break. Talk about Mandalorian for a second.
No.
Real quick second. Real quick second. Are you watching it?
Yeah, I've watched all. There's 5, right?
I got it.
5
episodes. Yeah, I've watched.
All right. Let's interject real quick, and we'll get back
Yeah,
to the holiday
since,
special.
since we're talking about Boba Fett. Yeah, all right.
Right.
There you go.
Okay. So just
Because there are some things that connect to that.
Boba Fett with a heart of gold.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's really fucking. He's a super nice guy.
He's
this
a
guy.
sappy.
He is like overly emotional. He's having a
Gotta save the baby. Take my money.
The gun he uses, the rifle that he uses
Is the spear
It's the
from-
same thing
Yeah.
from the animated thing.
Yeah,
so.
I noticed that in the animation. I was
Yeah, that
pretty
fork.
impressed with
There's
that.
Favreau is definitely jerking off all over this thing as far as like,
Have we all watched the Mandalorian up to 5 episodes?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I knew John was gonna like this. Sean, you're the guest, so what are you thinking so far?
You know, so here's the problem. I didn't watch it right when it came out when everyone else did, so the hype was
for
at
you.
ultra
Right.
levels. And I watched the first 2 episodes. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
Like groundbreaking. I think people were just looking so forward to this, and with good reason. You know, it's an area of the galaxy or the time period we haven't visited quite yet.
Right.
You know,
So 5 episodes in, are you enjoying it enough to say, okay, I'm going to finish this? You know, I mean, it's only 8 episodes, so obviously you'll finish it, but
yeah.
are you looking forward to further episodes?
I am.
Yeah.
despite Gina Carano's acting.
Oh, well said.
I gotta be honest though. I gotta be honest. I love her.
I love her too, and now I was like, "What? Did she forget how to act?"
Because she's been better in other things.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Like the Octagon.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing that's
Well, yeah,
weird
but-
about her. Here's the thing that's weird about her is that she's so much bigger than she was when she fought. Now
Yeah.
she
Seems to be, yeah.
Yeah, I
when she
almost
fought,
didn't
she was-
recognize her.
When she fought, she was much smaller. She was
she
tough,
lean?
leaner.
She's pretty thick now.
She's thick.
She kind of looks
but
like
she looks good.
She
I
looks
think she
good.
looks great.
China.
I would not want to get
China?
No.
She's
no.
getting up there.
Smaller.
Remember, China had
Shorter.
China had a dick. I don't think Gina Carano has a dick.
We don't know this.
Yeah. Well, we don't.
Well, Triple H knows. We should ask him.
I like Gina Carano, but I'll be honest with you, man. I'd be afraid to take a kick from her, like right now.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
she's got
She's-
thighs bigger than my friggin'
Thighs
forehead.
are like fucking that whole fight scene they had in that episode. She's
Yeah.
like fucking kicking people through walls and shit. I'm like, I think she actually kicked a guy through a wall.
People talk about wooden acting. Well, that was it.
No, I agree. I've seen her in other things. She did that one movie. She didn't have to say a lot in it, but it was actually a decent movie. Haywire, you ever see that one?
Yeah, I saw that,
Where she
yeah.
plays like the
She was-
operative.
yeah, she was pretty good.
You know, and most of that was fighting scenes,
Right.
but she was good in that. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this girl might have a career, and she did that. She was in one of the Fast and the Furiouses at the very least. I remember seeing she was like the bad, like the henchman, and she was in Deadpool. She was the one that beats the fuck out of Colossus in Deadpool. Remember?
Oh, that's her.
She does the
That's where I
superhero
know her
landing,
from. Okay,
and her
yeah.
tit comes out, and he's
Yeah.
like, your breast is out. Yeah, I can't remember what her name was, Angel or something.
I don't remember,
that.
but I remember the character.
That's pretty sad. I
Lloyd,
can't
are you
remember.
enjoying The Mandalorian?
I am enjoying it.
Yeah.
got-
I'm
he's got a
enjoying it. I'm
shirt.
watching it with my wife. I'm glad that it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of stuff has sucked lately, and this isn't sucking.
I got to be honest, I've enjoyed it.
It's like a western.
First 4 episodes
It's
I've
not
enjoyed.
like a western. It is a western.
It is a
It's
western.
it's Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah.
It's a western.
Every episode is basically ripped off from a western. So
Exactly.
It's not groundbreaking.
No,
It's not
no.
new. It's not anything great. And I called it directionless to somebody the other day. And I only mean that in the fact that whatever directors are getting, and I've seen some of the people that are directing it, just don't seem to know what they're doing with it.
I agree with you in the fact that
It is
overall,
not
as a, there is no overall story.
It doesn't. The story is one thing.
It's adventures.
I'm talking about actual camera work and work on the episode. The only one that really worked was the first one, and that was the one that I think Favreau did that one.
Yeah,
where you've got that IG-88 thing
That was great.
flying
Yeah,
around.
that was good.
Because everything else has been so predictable and so badly orchestrated. I'm just bored by the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
It's not working for me, and I don't really give a shit if I see it or not tomorrow. I'd rather watch Watchmen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Watchmen's been really good.
I have to catch up on Watchmen. I
Well,
only
we're
saw the
gonna
first
get way
episode.
off topic now.
All right. So no, real quick because we're talking Star Wars.
Yeah.
I just figured we're not going to do an episode on the Mandalorian. I wanted to just know where everybody was sitting with it.
How about you?
I'm enjoying it. I'll be honest. I'm enjoying it again. The first 4 episodes have I watch them and I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. There was some good stuff in there. It's not knocking my socks off. I got to be honest. The 5th episode I thought sucked.
Well, they're nice and short too.
Yeah, I watched the 5th episode today, and I just went the one where he helps the young bounty hunter out,
Yeah.
and I
that's
just
all
went,
right,
this
yeah.
fucking thing, man,
Oh, so
literally
obvious.
tanked.
That was bad casting too. 'Cause
That kid
is
sucked.
not good.
Okay, you felt the same way.
Yeah.
He sucked. I
It
was
wasn't
like,
believable, or
No.
I realize it's Star Wars.
And,
but
and putting some of the people that they've got into these roles, like you put Ming-Na Wen in there and you eliminate her in one episode. Sorry, I'm going to spoil it for you. Fuck you.
yeah, no, well, it's
that was pretty shitty because she's an awesome person, and to get some of the fight scenes out of her that you can get, and
Right.
we get this little wussy thing with your with the one kid that you didn't like. That's not cool.
no, he was terrible. I think the one thing that last episode did more than anything else was it had a lot of fan service in it.
Sure.
You go back to Mos Eisley
Yeah.
Cantina. You're on Tatooine. You had the. John's making the jerk off noise again. I'm not
don't do it again.
I'm not going to do it again.
they're going to Kazook next. I heard.
Yeah, they're going to hit Kazook.
Maybe we'll go to Hoth.
So much like the Mandalorian, Sean.
Oh man.
Let's go back to Kazook. Let's finish off. Talking about the Star Wars Holiday Special. So, Jesus Christ. So,
I just have to bring this up.
yeah, bring up anything.
So Carrie Fisher actually shows up as Princess Leia.
That's right.
Or I don't even think they call her princess at this point. They just called her Leia.
Yeah.
or whatever. But she's with C-3PO, and they're looking for Han and Chewie. And
Did you like the fact that Chewie had like a 5th grade elementary school photo? That his
that
wife
they kept looking at.
Yeah.
The camera angle was like, I'm like, okay, so is this? They're just dialing that in. You got to make sure these kids know what the hell we're talking about. It's all about Chewie.
Mala, I know. Put Chewie on the view screen.
Yeah, and I love.
He's not there?
I love how she comes out from behind whatever shitty little desk that they set up for her, and she trips on it. She's so stoned. She almost knocks over Anthony Daniels.
Surprised you couldn't see the coke caked up on her nostrils.
I was just surprised she was able to deliver the lines that they gave her, because she was just like looking so vacantly way off into this.
I said that to Lindsay because Lindsay doesn't really know her history. I said, man, she looks fucked up. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, she's a fucking. She wasn't even. She was like a. I'll use the word fiend.
She looked like she aged 10 years between then and at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, from Star Wars to the holiday special. But it's terrible. And then they couldn't even put her in a different outfit. They gave her the same
Well,
hair design and the sheet that she was wearing.
did you notice that Luke in the cartoon wore the outfit he wore in the medal ceremony?
Yeah, that was funny.
It was immediately afterwards, I guess.
Yeah, like right afterwards. Let's go to the diarrhea planet.
Just jump into Y-Wing, you know.
I heard Boba Fett is working with Darth Vader. Boba Fett is Darth Vader's right hand man.
I just love how Leia can't quite understand what Mala's got to say.
Right.
C-3PO can, and she doesn't want to go through do the Lucy line there. Yeah. So she's like, is there anyone else I can talk to? Anyone? Oh, Art Carney. Let's talk to Art Carney. That's great.
Hi there, princess. I'm Trader Dan.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? Maybe I can get you into a smokeless ashtray. We'll talk business later.
Do you like Jefferson Starship?
It's like Art Carney was.
How do you feel about Jefferson Starship? Find your way back. Find your way back to your home.
Poor Carrie Fisher. It's like, we're gonna put you in the same outfit. You know, you don't quite fit into it anymore, but that's okay. You know, here, do this line right here.
God, we're not done yet, but Sean, I want to thank you. Because I feel like, here's the thing, like I said before, I've gone 44 years. I was born in 75. I predate Star Wars, so Star Wars was part of my life, my whole life in one way, shape, or form. And I purposely avoided this fucking thing through being told, you gotta watch it, it's terrible. No, I'm not going to.
I should say this. I mean, before we move on from the animated sequence, real quick, did you notice how good Mark Hamill was doing animated voices at that time?
Yes. Yep.
Compared to, say,
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Well, I guarantee Harrison Ford told them, he's like, make sure he's incapacitated for most of that cartoon. I don't want to say nothing, and if I don't have to.
Oh, what happened? But how? We'll explain it later.
Yeah, we'll just explain it later.
I thought they lifted half those lines from Star Wars.
I don't know. Give him some kind of talisman disease. That sounds about
right. But Mark Hamill and Anthony Daniels obviously did very, very well. So
fuck Anthony Daniels.
I know, but he's good at what he does.
He is.
Voiceover stuff.
I just hate C-3PO, and everything I hear about that guy is he's just such a fucking creep.
I'm looking at you one last time.
Can I comment on that fucking one scene in the trailer? Right? I don't want to talk about Rise of fucking Skywalker. But in Rise of Skywalker trailer,
I had to.
You get that one moment where C-3PO is hooked up and he's got the red eyes for whatever reason, and you got Poe Dameron and Finn and fucking whatever, Rey and the Asian girl looks like a sack of potatoes, and they're all sitting around and Rose. And they say that they go.
Is it Tuco? Rose Tuco?
Rose Tuco.
Because every time I hear Tuco, I think of Good, Bad, the Ugly.
Yeah. Or Breaking Bad. Yeah. Tuco Salamanca. Tuco Salamanca. But like you get that one moment in that trailer where it's like hey C-3PO, what are you doing? I'm looking at my friends one last time. It's like, you don't know these motherfucking people. I saw Force Awakens and I saw Last Jedi. You don't fucking know these people. You've literally never talked to Poe Dameron once.
Right.
Like, I don't think you've ever fucking even been in the same room with Finn.
Would you like to hear how I've got a red arm?
Oh, God. This might be the first Star Wars movie, and I'm not saying it because I will probably go. This might be the first Star Wars movie in my life.
You guys made me go to the last one.
I'm at the point now where I honestly don't know. I don't know. Sean, are you going to go see this?
Yeah, I got tickets for the night of the 19th.
You're ready. You're ready. Are you a fan of the of the newest iteration. And you got kids, so if you say yes, we're not going to make fun of you too hard. We'll wait till you leave.
Okay, fair enough. I don't hate them. Like, I understand the wrath from everybody regarding whatever they nitpick and here and there and whatever. Overall, they're not great movies. I don't hate them, and I will go see this one.
Okay.
And then I loved Rogue One.
I
hated the backlash against that.
No, I really enjoyed Rogue One, and I really liked Solo too. Again, it's not a fantastic movie, but that one, out of all of them, that one paid for Last Jedi.
Yeah,
from everybody. But this new trilogy, it's like, who the fuck cares about these characters?
Yeah, it's tough.
Like Rey is like your central character, and I don't give a fuck about her. And again,
she's cute.
And I want to make it a point. It's not because she's a female.
No.
Awesome female protagonist. I love the idea.
We don't know who she is, and we don't care.
We don't know who she is. We don't know her relationships with her friends. We don't. There's
nothing to care about.
You met Luke as a farm boy,
right?
And you got to see the beginning of his relationship with Han Solo, and you felt like, even like, not just because it's our generation, you felt like, hey, these people worked out their differences and they became friends, and then they became, like a part of this thing, this Rebel Alliance. And with these people, you're just like, I'm like struggling. Did fucking she ever meet Poe? Like, I just fuck these people.
They missed a big opportunity with Finn. Because an ex-stormtrooper defecting to them, I mean, that's a story all by itself.
Well, you know where they lost Finn was, he wasn't, like, in the first movie he was okay. He had that terrible storyline in the second one with fucking
with Rose.
The sidetrack with Rose.
With potatoes.
Rose potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, terrible. Fucking terrible. I credit Joey from our friend So Wizard podcast. He always calls her the sack of potatoes.
Oh, does he?
And it sticks with me because honestly it fits. That outfit
so
they had her
wizard.
in, she just looks like a fucking person in a sack of potatoes.
Too bad her sister didn't survive.
Her sister was fucking. Her sister was hot, and she seemed rad too.
Yeah.
Except for that dumb bombing raid sequence that makes no sense.
Yeah, I saw that in the theaters with John, and he was immediately angry at the beginning.
I was very mad at that too.
And Poe Dameron, the one character I liked from the first one, immediately becomes a douchebag in the second one. ends up costing him all these ships and lives. It's like, oh, fuck these movies. Lloyd, is there anything else about the holiday special we should talk about? Is there any factoids you have?
Lloyd, it's just one more round.
We did have that stupid transistor segment where Harvey Corbin was explaining how to put that together.
That was awful.
So awful.
And Lumpy in that scene uses the Texas Instruments TI 450 to send out. All you need is a fucking like a Harvey Korman Texas Instruments 450, and you too can send out a distress beacon to the Empire to make them have all their troops retreat home. The troops all retreat home, and then there's one stormtrooper they leave behind. Yeah, right, officer.
Well, here's the one thing. This is what I'm a little vague about. When Han and Chewie did show up. Right, they take this guy out, the stormtrooper. They murder him.
Oh, they murder him.
They fucking murder him.
They didn't touch him.
Yeah, he falls through the breakaway railing.
Right, and then Art's like, "Oh no, I'll cover that up, no problem."
Yeah,
I do that all the time. Hey, Mala, don't worry about it. You walking shag carpet.
I like the bit where Art Carney's character walks into the treehouse and he's like, "You're not gonna have to worry about him." And I laugh because I'm just picturing he just walked, like he went in from the bottom and walked by like this fucking splattered. And the other part I loved about it was that when he easily tells like the Moff or whoever it was, he's like, he stole some stuff from me and ran into the forest. And then he's like, we'll send a search party. I'm like, I don't know if the Empire cares enough about a fucking one stormtrooper.
No, not at all.
Those little bulletins they kept sending out, like to everybody, like who was that meant for?
It's like 1984, 1978.
Yeah,
very
the Tatooine, and then Tatooine is on fucking curfew.
Yeah, we're gonna shut you down. Like, all right, everybody out.
Yeah,
fuck you.
And then we get B. Arthur as Akamina, and she's the proprietor of. We didn't know this. She's the proprietor of the bar in the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Sure, she is.
We have the fucking. She sings a song that actually uses the do 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 do.
They did that to two songs
Yes.
from the movie in this, where they added lyrics.
What was the other one?
At the end, the actual theme to
The
Star
theme
Wars, Princess
song.
Leia sings Life Day.
Oh, my God.
So bad.
They ruined two songs.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, I did write that down.
They absolutely did. It was so fucking bad.
Awful closing sequence. That's what I wrote down. And a good reason it's buried. Apparently, I was very angry by the end of this.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Because that made no sense at the end. It really didn't. No. Everyone like shows up together.
It did in Phantasm.
Well, I got a question for you, Lloyd.
Sure?
True.
I got a question for you, Lloyd.
Yeah.
You got to bone your way out of a situation. right?
Yeah.
You got to use your male wiles to get out of situations, and you've got to
Nut your way out.
You got to nut your way out of a situation,
Yep.
right? And you have two choices: Mala or B. Arthur.
Holy shit! Oh, I'll go B. Arthur.
B. Arthur,
Yeah,
okay,
for
all
sure.
right. Because we know that Mala was played by a man, but so was B. Arthur. I said to Lindsay last night as we were kind of watching this, she was kind of watching it, and reading and stuff. And I said, "Can you?" Now I know this is 78. I said, "Can you look up fucking how old B. Arthur is at this point?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "She's 55." I'm like, "I don't think
was she really?
55 then."
I don't think she looked that bad in this show.
Well, she didn't look 55. She had that ageless look.
Yeah,
because
right.
she looked old.
Her face wasn't bad, but you know what it is? She's one of those people that she had blue hair in
Right,
she had blue
right.
hair in
Forever,
Maude. It's
right.
like she was like she looked 60 in fucking 1972, and she looked 60 in fucking 1987 when
Yeah.
she was in the Golden Girls. Like, at what point did she
ageless.
was she ever like was B. Arthur at 17 like a fucking 62-year-old woman? I don't know.
I saw a picture of her. I think it was right around her. It was maybe her high school photo or something like that. Somebody was spreading a meme around about her being a truck driver in World War II. So, which adds to it. And she wasn't that bad looking. I mean, it barely looked like
No,
her. But
she-
again, she didn't have the blue hair, so I didn't recognize her.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
When you have something that's you, I guess you stick with it.
Yeah. No, well, hey, it's Maude, right? So
Because then you got Art Carney, because I swear that outfit was the same thing he wore on the honeymooners. So.
this thing was so fucking weird.
Yeah, that's all he
It
needed
was
was
so
that.
fucking weird. Lloyd, you have seen this twice now. Do you picture at any point?
No,
At some point in your life,
never again.
let's say one of your kids, any one of your you have two, you have one kid that's not gonna get into. It. You have two
My kids
younger-
knew it was bad when they walked in the room.
But let's say, listen, let me say,
What is that dance sequence?
You got your son Jonah, right? And you got Sophie, and they're both younger, 10, 14. Let's say in 5 or 6 years, one of the two of them gets really into Star Wars. And says, "Dad, they have this and you go, "It's terrible," but like, "Dad, I want to know for myself. Will you watch it with me?" Now, are you a good enough dad to fucking sit there and do this again, or are you going to fucking come up with some kind of lie? And what is the lie?
I'll sit there for a little bit and then I'll
sneak
leave.
out?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to get a drink.
Daddy's going for a pack of cigarettes.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Solo.
We made it for you by hand.
I'm gonna go use my hand.
Solo. Sean, you own two. Not one. You own two copies of this on
I'm not
DVD.
sure how that happened, but I'm not going to question it. I don't know.
Do you, after bringing this to the Pint, do you see yourself ever saying in a couple years from now, going, I remember the podcast, that was fun. Let's check it out again. Is this something that's just in the collection?
It's in the collection, so
Yeah.
when people come over, hey, look what I have that's bootlegged.
And what if you have
Wanna
someone
watch
come over and
it?
go, hey,
No.
let's watch it? That's what
You got any Tracy Lords?
You can borrow it. You can borrow it back
borrow
too
it.
if you keep it. No problem.
My Lord. And I love the bootleg cover to this one in particular. It is it's the cash shot, and you have Sandy Duncan as Mark Hamill.
That's right, because they all come out at the end, right?
Yeah, you have Harrison Ford, you have Princess Leia, you have Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca in his Branch Davidian robe, and then you got the droids. You have Anthony Daniels as C-3PO and R2D2 as R2D2.
Yeah. Even Kenny Baker knew. Fuck
right.
you.
Let me read the description of the bootleg that Sean has here. The Star Wars Holiday Special. This is the original TV special that George Lucas has disowned. Boom! Exclamation point. To keep the hype for Star Wars going between movies, this 2-hour variety show, cartoon, melodrama, musical, you name it, it's here, was put together for run on CBS TV on Friday, November 17th, 1978. It has all the original cast members, plus some new ones, first introduced into the Star Wars universe. But alas, while Itchy and Lumpy have vanished in time, the real treat of the special is the well-done cartoon segment that introduces Boba Fett. This DVD contains all the original commercials, news breaks, and promos from the original air date. Guest stars Art Carney, B. Arthur, or as she was credited, if you remember, Beatrice Arthur.
Yeah.
And the Jefferson Starship, running time 118 long minutes. And if you look at the back, all the pictures are from the cartoon because they're like, that's the only salvageable moment. It's like, okay, we got Boba Fett, and there's another picture of Boba Fett, and then a picture of the diarrhea planet. And man,
I don't know. Melodrama. What a great
Yeah.
great word, because Yeah, the drama in this thing was just like in your face. It's absolute.
I know John's never going to go along with this, but like, did anybody else like kind of like fucking feel terrible when that stormtrooper ripped the bantha head off of his stuffed animal, and then he puts it back together and puts a blanket over it? I'll admit I didn't cry on this one. I'm a crier, but I was like heartbroken. I'm like, this poor fucking thing. And I was like, I hope Chewbacca beats him to fucking death. Luckily enough, he did. Him and Han Solo murdered the fuck out of that stormtrooper.
I just love how they ransacked Lumpy's room. I mean, like, because all the rebel stuff
That's where all the shit is.
kids' room.
Yeah, well, like
There was a point when the troopers all came in, and in the background you see Art Carney sliding a panel over the view screen that they were using, the TV screen, and I'm like, no one saw him do that.
No, they're too stupid.
And then when he went to go look for it, there was a trooper looking for it, and he's tapping on the wood. The cheesy 70s panel.
And then he opens it, and it's just like knickknacks or whatever. And he's like, okay, nothing here. Slides it closed.
Okay.
Did you notice the stormtroopers didn't get too close to Grandpa's porn chair?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, there's it's covered in a viscous glazing of some sort.
Got the gun in your face.
And I was gonna say earlier.
Okay, all right.
I was gonna say earlier when we were talking about
side.
that. This was the only time I ever saw the stormtroopers actually hold the gun by the actual handle.
Yeah.
Usually it's like they're holding it underneath, or they'll just point it out. These guys are all got it right there, and like literally, they were gonna fucking execute a fucking baby Wookiee on a balcony. I don't know. This thing
It's
went
pretty
from,
heavy.
And they failed yet again.
right.
Melodrama.
But again, for like a Thanksgiving week, fucking like family special, like murder of a sentient ape just seems like a little bit heavy. I don't know.
Hey, Kazook, man.
That would have made this rewatchable, though.
Yeah, they blew.
We have to see the moment everyone's talking about.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Like fucking at like 88 minutes in, they fucking blew Lumpy away. I'm like, no. Then they cooked him in the bantha stew. Ooh. All right, Lloyd, do we have any other factoids or anything? Do you have anything about, like, I don't know, the numbers? Do you have viewership numbers like that?
I got nothing like that.
You got nothing like that? All
I
right.
just got a list of other variety shows from that era.
Let's talk about some.
Can you name any? Give me three. Everybody give me three that you can remember.
Oh, that'd be the Osmonds.
Yep,
They would
Donnie
be on.
Marie. That was a little later, but...
Was Carol Burnett considered a variety show?
Yep, absolutely.
Hee Haw.
That's my favorite.
Oh,
Hee Haw.
yeah.
I love Roy Clark, man. Fucking Thunderfingers.
And Lucille Ball had one, right?
I think that
Am
was
I
much
wrong?
earlier.
Okay. There was a commercial for a special on the DVD I watched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Lucy, I forgot what it was called. Like the Lucy something, Lucy Hour. It might have been just like a one-off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, on CBS.
That
too.
was
That would've been
occasional.
her, so.
That was an
Yeah.
occasional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Hee Haw, Carol Burnett, Dinah,
Yeah. Dinah Shore.
the Brady Bunch Variety Hour.
Brady Bunch Variety Hour with the different, was it a different...
Fake Jan.
Fake Jan, yeah.
Yeah.
Different Jan, yeah.
I think we said Donnie and Marie. Here's one, Captain and Tennille.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jacksons, Tony, Orlando, and Dawn,
Wow.
Dick Viking Company, and earlier 70s, Sonny and Cher.
Oh, yeah.
Variety
Yeah,
shows
so
were
they-
the
And that's
shit
still
back then.
only a fraction
Wow,
of what
that's
was
all.
out there.
I remember one as a kid called the Hudson Brothers.
Even Diane Carroll had a variety show.
The Smothers Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like variety show. Yeah, it's it's weird how everything
It
is
was a huge
cyclical.
thing in the 70s.
You know, in the basically in the
Laughing.
2000s till now, in 100 years they're gonna look back and go, reality TV, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And for us, it's like we're of the age that we kind of remember them as kids, but like variety shows, like
Song and dance number.
Right, you're gonna see a comedian, and then you're gonna see a song and dance. I mean, one of my favorites, more of a game show vibe, but it was a variety show, The Gong Show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gene
Chuck
Gene the
Berry.
Dancing Machine, man. I used to fucking love that thing.
Well, I mean, the Muppet Show was probably the craziest variety show you could really think about.
The Muppet Show to me,
Muppet Show,
nuts.
yeah.
the Muppet Show to me, like I think that you see like some of these people that do like sketch comedy and stuff, and they talk about how like they're influenced by like the Saturday Night Live and stuff like that. The Muppet Show is one of the greatest sketch comedy shows of all time. It just unfortunately it doesn't get lumped in that category because it was a bunch of fucking Muppets. But I mean, like that was my shit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember my parents kind of tell me more, but I remember the thing I look forward to the most every week when the Muppet Show came on was what Gonzo would do at the end of the theme, because it would do something different would happen every week.
Yeah.
He'd blow the horn, or the fucking chickens would pop out of everything. And my parents always told me, they're like you would just sit in front of the TV like this far away, just waiting, like and shaking in anticipation,
Waiting for the moment.
waiting for see what Gonzo did this week. Yeah. See, we're trying to talk about happy things. Get away from the Star Wars holiday special. Do you have anything else you want to add to this, Sean? You bring this into my home. You want to talk about it?
You doing ratings?
This is the second time I've done this to you guys, so if there's not a third, I understand.
I don't think we should rate this. I don't think there's any way to rate this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be rude to rate this because I don't think there's any way, because even in the "it's so bad it's good" category, it's not.
Right, it doesn't hit that.
I guess the question would be, in '78, would this get you into the holiday spirit?
No,
God,
Christmas spirit?
I don't know how, because they don't really explain what Life Day is.
Yeah,
Apparently it's some kind of Thanksgiving special. So
yeah. I guess that's a good question.
It's Life Day.
Is how does this equate to human fucking holidays? And it doesn't.
Jerking off in a chair, dealing with the Imperials, getting your power core.
No,
Bantha stew.
no Christ in a galaxy far, far away, so they had to invent a holiday.
Yeah.
Life Day.
I mean, and it got really trippy. I mean, this thing was trippy.
Three-fingered animated characters.
Trippy from beginning to end, right? You got the fucking whatever it was, the Jacksonville Cirque du Soleil video.
Yeah.
You got Diane Carroll and the old Wookiee jerking off to her. You got the Jefferson Starship on 3D MTV 3 years before MTV starts. And then you got Wookiees in robes walking into a fucking star. There's no other way to fuck it. I don't know what the fuck happened in this thing.
No one does.
Yeah.
They wrapped it up. They're like, we're done.
Yeah.
You sure?
Someone should ask Bruce Valanche.
Yeah. Well, he's still around.
still
Let's
around.
get him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that. You ever see him before? He's Bruce Willis. Yeah, he's got the fucking crazy shirts.
Yeah.
I wonder. I'm gonna look that up. I didn't do much research on this one because I was finishing watching it. It took me 3 days to watch it.
It's tough to get through. It really is. It's a slog because
It is
it's
a
so
slog.
slow.
Again, let's not forget 2 full hours. No, Sean, it's great. It's great to have you on, man. I can cross it off a bucket list.
There you go.
And next time someone says to me, "You ever see the Star Wars Holiday Special?" I will curse your name, punch them in the face, and listen to the episode. My mission now is every time I go to a con and I see a bootleg copy, is to buy it, break it, and make sure it doesn't get out into the world.
George Lucas thanks you.
Yes, and actually, yeah. Get a visit from George Lucas with his beard that goes into his chest. Thank you so much for doing that.
He looks like Bruce Valanche.
Yeah.
That's awful.
So, you got anything to say other than Happy Life Day to everybody out there?
See ya.
See ya. Happy Life Day, Sean.
And to you as well.
It's over, Johnny. It's over! Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Microphone test 1 2. Either one of you.
What? Excuse me while I get this out. Oh, fuck me.
When I was a kid, I used to walk 4 miles to school both ways, uphill.
Naked? Were you naked too?
No, never naked. Only
No.
in my dreams. I had the naked school dreams, though. Those were
I
weird.
still have those sometimes.
Yeah. You know what my dreams are now when I dream of school? Like I'm late for a test or something.
That's nothing. When I was young, our dad used to wake us up by beating us in the back of the head, tripping us out the door, and we had to walk on broken glass all the way to...
You know what dreams I have that are
Barefoot.
weird? I have the naked dreams once in a while, but not often.
The naked
dream?
dream?
Yeah, like you go to school naked or
Yeah.
something.
Or you're just in your underwear.
The ones I have, and I know this is something to do with my life and my mental state, is I have one that like I'm on a basketball team and it's a championship game, yet I can't play basketball. Or I'm in a concert and I'm in the band, but like I'm the only one that realizes I can't play guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the running dream where you're trying to run away from something, but you just can't move.
Oh yeah, I'm a bag of fucking shit.
You got to learn how to fly.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, but then if you fucking fall, right?
In
you
my
die.
dreams, when I fly, I think I got to put my hands down and like do a dolphin kick.
Oh,
That's how I fly. In my dreams.
I'd like
It's
to see
fucking
you
weird.
fly. I'd like to see you fly.